sweet Valentine. Ọlọ́run ọ̀run ló so àpọ̀ lágbára Elédùmarè ò lè túká àṣẹ o. Àní ara ẹ̀ bá ń kọrin o. Ọmọ tèmi nìkan, my forever sweet Valentine. Ló so àpọ̀ lágbára Elédùmarè ò lè túká àṣẹ o. Torí náà ta ló bá mi rọ́mọ bíi ti bèbí mi. A ní pé ọmọ tó ọmọ tán ọmọ bá. A ní kò sọ́mọ náà bíi ti nàlí mi. A ní ṣé ọmọ tó ọmọ tán ọmọ náà ọmọ bá. Ó yá ara ẹ̀ bá ń kọ́ ní òrèdè. Ọmọ tèmi nìkan o, my forever sweet Valentine. Ọ̀run ló so àpọ̀ lágbára Elédùmarè ò ní túká àṣẹ o. Torí pé ìfẹ́ mú ní sí ọ, ìfẹ́ ẹlẹ́yẹlé. Ìfẹ́ mú ní sí ọ, ìfẹ́ aládàbà o. Bèbí wojú mi, ojú mà lọ́rọ̀ wá o. Bébí fọwọ́ rẹ́ mi nímú, mi ò mà ní bínú o. Feels like I drink palm wine. Oh, baby, ọtí. When we cool and wine, my temperature the rise. Put me under your spell. I love to get my dear. Touch me gently, my dear. I'll be waiting for you, for my body and my whole again. Ọmọ tèmi nìkan, my forever sweet Valentine. Ọlọ́run ọ̀run ló so àpọ̀ lágbára Elédùmarè ò lè túká àṣẹ o, ò lè túká.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you're having a good time. Hope you've enjoyed lunch so far. Can you give the person sitting next to you a high five? Give someone sitting to your right and to your left a high five. Tell them you look amazing this afternoon. Yes, everyone looks amazing, so you won't be lying if you said that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, welcome to this celebration of GKO at 80. We are now about to have the party, but remember I said earlier, we're doing all of this with the mood of thanksgiving and praise. All right, I don't want to break the flow. I only just came to introduce the children who are going to dance in. For the last half hour, we've had a wonderful band entertain us. Can we please appreciate SB Live? Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for SB Live.
You're not a man, no. You're not a man, no. You are the God who opens doors no one can shut. You're not a man, no. You're not a man, no. You are the God of everything, no one like you. You're not a man, you're not a man. If I lose something, yeah. You are the God who opens doors. You're not a man, oh. You're not a man. You're the God of everything. You're the God of everything. No, everybody say, no one like you. No one like you, Jesus. No one like you. 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 Master, no one like you. I will my you. You are the God of everything. No one like you. I feel joy my bow. I feel joy my bow. I feel joy your bow. I feel joy your bow. I go mole your bow. Oya funke kò fàtẹ́wọ́ yín Elédùmarè ọba mímọ́. Defolu ebangla baba for babuku jare. Ọba terere, terere, rere, 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 kárí ayé. Ọba lànà, ọba lónìí, ọba títí ayé. Ebangla baba for babuku jare. Ọba terere, terere, rere, 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 kárí ayé. Bóyá Dévolú, ọba tó ń gbàdọ̀ balẹ̀ ọba. Ọba tó ń gbàdọ̀ balẹ̀ ọba. Ọba tó ń gbàdọ̀ balẹ̀ gbogbo ọba. Èmi ṣe kábíyèsí rẹ̀. Ọba tó ń gbàdọ̀ balẹ̀ ọba. Bóyá yẹn kò mọ́lẹ̀ náà. Ọba tó ń gbàdọ̀ balẹ̀ ọba. Ọba tó ń gbàdọ̀ balẹ̀ ọba. Èmi ṣe kábíyèsí rẹ̀. Ọba tó ń gbàdọ̀ balẹ̀ ọba. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ọba tó ń gbàdọ̀ balẹ̀ ọba. Ọba tó ń gbàdọ̀ balẹ̀ ọba. Èmi ṣe kábíyèsí rẹ̀. Ọba tó ń gbàdọ̀ balẹ̀ ọba. Ọba tó ń gbàdọ̀ balẹ̀ ọba. Ọba tó ń gbàdọ̀ balẹ̀ ọba. Èmi ṣe kábíyèsí rẹ̀. Dádì ẹnìkan bẹ́ẹ̀ tó fẹ́ràn wa, a ó fẹ́ wa. Ìfẹ́ rẹ̀ ju tíye kan lọ, a ó fẹ́ wa. Ọ̀rẹ́ ayé kọ̀ wá sílẹ̀, onídùn ọ̀làlẹ̀ kóró, ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀rẹ́ yìí kì í tọ́ ni. I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your arms from the moment that I wake up until I lay my head. I will sing of the goodness. Everybody say, all of my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been faithful. All of my life you have been so good. All my life you have been so good. With every breath, Lord, that I am able, I will sing of the goodness. Oh yeah, Daddy, èmi nìkan ló yé. Ó lè yé ẹnìkan kan. Ìdí tí mo fi yé bàbá. Èmi nìkan ló yé. Èmi nìkan ló yé. Ó lè yé ẹnìkan kan. Ìdí tí mo fi yé bàbá. Èmi nìkan ló yé.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you can see that the celebrant is on the dance floor. I think we need to make some noise. Come on. The dancing has not stopped, but we just thought to acknowledge the fact that Daddy has said he will not be left out of the dancing today. So one more time, make some noise for GKO. All right, SB, over to you. Let's go. Round 2.
Èmi nìkan ló yé, ó lè yé ẹnìkan kan. Ìdí tí mo fi yé bàbá. Èmi nìkan ló yé, èmi nìkan ló yé. Èmi nìkan ló yé. Lóyé lóyé. Ìdí tí mo fi yé bàbá. Dádì bàbá ń fàyè mi dábìrà o. Bàbá ń fàyè mi dábìrà o. Ó fàyè mi dábìrà dábìrà. Ó fàyè mi dábìrà dábìrà. Ẹ máa wò mí, ẹ rọra wò. Èdùmàrè ń fàyè mi dábìrà o. Bàbá ń fàyè mi dábìrà o. Ó yá sọ pé bàbá ń fàyè mi dábìrà o. Dábì bàbá ń fàyè dábìrà o. Èmi máa fi sórí rẹ̀ Olúwa ọba ògo. Ìjìnlẹ̀ nínú ìjìnlẹ̀ ẹ ṣeun o. Ìjìnlẹ̀ nínú ìjìnlẹ̀ ẹ ṣeun. Ìjìnlẹ̀ nínú ìjìnlẹ̀ ẹ ṣeun. Ìjìnlẹ̀ nínú ìjìnlẹ̀ nínú ìjìnlẹ̀ nínú ìjìnlẹ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ nínú ìjìnlẹ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ àná mi sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ ṣeun. Òní ẹ ṣeun. Ọ̀la mi á sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ ṣeun. Ìjìnlẹ̀ nínú ìjìnlẹ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ nínú ìjìnlẹ̀ ẹ ṣeun. Ìjìnlẹ̀ ẹ ṣeun. Ìjìnlẹ̀ nínú ìjìnlẹ̀ yé ẹ ṣeun. Ìjìnlẹ̀ nínú ìjìnlẹ̀ àná mi sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ ṣeun. Òní ẹ ṣeun. Ọ̀la mi á sọ̀rọ̀.
Ladies and gentlemen, that round of applause is for God Almighty. It can be louder. It can be better. I know that we're having lunch and so we're seated, but I want you to take the eye off your plate for a minute and let's just give one standing ovation as we honor Mr. Gbolahan Karounwi Olufon at 80. Ladies and gentlemen, can we all rise to our feet and celebrate this fine gentleman with a thunderous round of applause as we give God glory for strength, for vitality. We're not dancing at his demise today. He's here, he's present, surrounded by children and grandchildren and those who love him. And so all glory is to God. That round of applause one more time, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you. God bless you. You may have your seats. Thank you all so much. And thank you to you, SB Live, for bringing the celebrant and the children in. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you again. The agenda today is very simple. We want to have a good time. We want to celebrate our father and grandfather. We want to eat and drink. We're going to do a lot of dancing and a lot of reminiscing on some of the times that we've spent with GKO. Just to get us in the mood, I'm going to play a little game where I'm going to test your knowledge of the celebrant. He's had a very rich life, a rich tapestry of experiences over the last 80 years. Our pastor, Pastor Wale Adefarasi, talked about the valleys and the mountaintops of his life over the last 80 years. And I don't know how many people have read his biography. How many of you have read it? It's in my hand now. I started reading it and I couldn't put it down. How many people have read this? If you have, raise your hand. Aha, very good. So not too many people. So my quiz will be very nice because the answers are in this book. Oh, okay, you've read the book? Okay, good. But he was born the 24th of July in 1945. 1945. I'm very sure that I don't think anyone else here was there in 1945 when our father was born. But my first question is, what hospital was he born in? What hospital was he born in? If you know the answer, raise your hand. Mommy, you know the answer? Tell me.
General Hospital.
Massey General Hospital. Mommy, at one point in my life, I was a lecturer, so I'm going to be very strict. You have just 50% of the points. Because the first part of the answer is correct, but the second part, not quite. So it's Mercy's Children's Hospital. But let's still clap for mommy. Let's clap for mommy. Clap for her, clap for her, clap for her. All right, good. That was an easy question. And so we have the table 1 with 1 point. I'm going to go over to my next question. Where was the celebrant's father from? His father also had the initials GKO. And even though he is Gbolahan, his father was Gabriel Karounwi as well. So he took his father's second name. But where is his father from? I see some fresh-faced and beautiful ladies on this table, and they're all looking away from me so that I won't bring the mic to any of them. Okay, but I heard an answer. Do you want to say the answer into the mic?
I said Abeokuta.
Abeokuta. Ladies and gentlemen, she is correct. Put your hands together for her. People are tired of clapping. It's too early to be tired of clapping. Oh. Now, as I read this book, I would have to say something, right? Daddy wrote this book just last year. All right, so it's safe to say that he wrote the book when he was 79. But what I find fascinating is what he can remember. He can remember things from when he was 3 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not even 40. I can't remember things from when I was 10. So how a 79-year-old can remember things from when he was 3 years old, I think he deserves a round of applause. Let's put our hands together for him. There's a wonderful story about he and his mom taking a ferry from somewhere in Lagos to an area close to Ijebu-Ode to meet his dad when he was 3 years old. And he remembers that story so vividly. There was another story about him watching an entourage of cars as they were going to lay the foundation at Unilag as a kid as well in Yaba. And that day, that made such an impression that he hoped that he would one day attend University of Lagos, and he did. And not only that, he was one time president of the Unilag Alumni Association. Can we put our hands together for our celebrant one more time? And I know that the Unilag Alumni Association members are here. My Akokites, can you make some noise? Great Akokites. See, these Akokites, they're very serious people. They approached me at the beginning of this event and said, see, Daddy was one time our president, so you need to give us airtime and honor. So I'm just going to quickly recognize the Unilag Alumni Delegation. We have the president of the Worldwide Unilag Alumni Association, Engineer Ifeoluwa Oyedele, FNSEFAENG. You're welcome, sir. We also have the National Secretary, Barrister Gbolahan Karounwi, who is here as well. Thank you. All right, so I have 2 answers from this side of the hall. Let me go over to this side of the hall and see who will attempt my next question. All right, so I have on this table some people that look like Mr. Olufon's friends. So I'm going to give them a very tough question. Are you guys ready? I have a very tough question for you. Very, very tough question. What school did he go for his HSE? What school did the celebrant go? Tell me.
Is it King's College?
Is it King's College? Are you asking me a question? You're answering the question with a question. Be confident with your answer.
King's College.
King's College. Is that right? Oh yeah, clap for him, clap for him. Clap for him. Now in this book, Daddy tells a lot of stories of his time at King's College. Really, really fun stories about the good old days, the late 50s and the 60s in Lagos. As I read this book, I wondered, man, it would have been really interesting to experience that era of Nigeria. But those were truly the good old days. All right, I'm going to find another table to ask my next question. Let me look for a table where everybody's looking serious and not smiling. Yeah, okay, some people are smiling on this table. Okay, this table, yes, this is the table, because he looks very serious. So I'm going to ask you my next question. You're well able. You're well able. All right. The celebrant is famous for working at Chase Bank for a lot of years. But what was the company he worked at before Chase Bank? What was the company he worked at before Chase Bank? Do you want to go? She knows? Okay, okay. Do you want to guess? Do you want to guess? What was the company he worked at before Chase Bank? Wild guess, wild guess.
NTM.
NTM? Why do you think MTM? Why?
Just because.
Just because? Okay, somebody else wants to give another answer?
It was IMB.
IFB or IMB?
IMB, International Merchant Bank.
Okay, so your final answer is IMB, your final answer is NTM. Well, sir, I'm so delighted to tell you that you are wrong. And she is right. Put your hands together for her. She's the one who was unsure, but she was correct. So he actually worked at NTM. I think you've read the book, even though you were acting like you didn't know. You've read this book. No, I'm sure you have, because of all the companies in the world you could have guessed, why NTM? So you certainly have read his biography. But I don't know how many of you know the story about his transition from NTM to Chase Bank. Shall I tell you the story very quickly? Who wants to hear the story? So the summary of the story, and this is just a testament to Daddy's integrity. The summary of the story is that at NTM, they were trying to wind up the company, and some people on the board had told them to liquidate certain assets and pay, under the guise of paying off some debtors, to pay the creditors for the company, to wind up some assets and then take the money instead of paying the creditors. But Daddy sold the assets, ensured that the assets were sold, took the check, and they were expecting a check at the office, but he went and paid the creditors. And then got back to the office, they were upset, and he thought, well, my time here is up, started to apply for jobs, got the job at Chase, but later found out that he was recommended for the job at Chase because of that act at NTM when he paid the creditors. So that singular act of integrity opened the door for him to work at Chase Bank. And I think we need to put our hands together for that. And I'm sure that's the sort of legacy that he has passed on to his children and grandchildren, one of honesty, of integrity, and hard work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am sufficiently convinced that we all know the celebrant really well because you've answered my questions very well. But I feel like I need to ask one more. I need to find one very difficult one and ask someone on the far side of this section. Aha. Okay, so I just found the question. So before, actually 2 questions, and I'm going to ask the Unilag people. Because you people claim to, know Daddy very well, and you say he's your man, so you must know this. Now, while he was a student of your institution, he contested for what position? As a student politician, what position did he contest for? And what was the acronym for his campaign? It's a difficult question. Don't Google it. Google cannot answer you. Somebody said we were not there. But you should know the history. You should know the history. You should know the history. You came into Unilag long after he has gone. But who wants to guess? Who wants to guess? What position did he contest? Oh, someone on that table wants to guess. You want to bail the Unilag people. SUG president. You are wrong. You are wrong. You are very wrong. PRO. Yes. People should clap for her. Clap for her. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I need, supply of small chops to this lady. Let it just be flowing, uninterrupted. Tell us into the mic. What was this? What was the slogan?
KO for PRO. GKO for
GKO for PRO. What's your name? What's her name? What's her name? No, your name is not Funke. Funke is behind you. What's her name? What's her name? Mrs. Oyedeji for PRO. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for her. So the acronym was GKO for PRO. Unilag, are you hearing? And he contested for PRO. All right, so you can add that to your history. But I feel like everyone should get a copy of this book. It's called My Early Life Story by Gbolahan Karounwi Olufon. I don't know if there are copies of the book. Are there copies of the book here today for people to buy? Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, I've just been told that everyone will get a copy of the book free today. Can we celebrate the family for that? Yes. The only caveat is you have to wait till the end of the party. That's the only caveat. You can't leave, in between. You get the book as part of your souvenir package at the end of the party. All right, thank you so much, Bola Fresh Wave. All right, just so that I know I have your attention, and if you love GKO, can I hear you say, yeah, yeah? Okay, tap your neighbor and say, don't sleep, wake up, wake up, wake up. Good. Now, if you love GKO, can I hear you say, yeah, yeah? All right, ladies and gentlemen, as it's customary at this sort of occasions, a bio, a citation of the celebrant is read. So I'm going to do that right now. Right after this, we have a series of video messages that we're going to play in honor of our celebrant. So I'm going to humbly appeal that we settle down and have a moment of stillness so that we can pay attention to the celebrant's citation. Right after the citation is read, I'm going to crave your indulgence for another standing ovation as we honor him at 80. And I proceed. The citation for Mr. Gbolahan Karounwi Olufon, GKO. Born on the 24th of July in 1945, Mr. Gbolahan Karounwi Olufon attended the Methodist High School, Ilesha, from 1960 to 1964, King's College, Lagos, from 1965 to 1966. He obtained the LLB honors degree in 1970 from the University of Lagos, Akoka, and was called to the Nigerian Bar in 1971. Mr. Olufon worked as a state counsel between 1971 and 1975 with the Lagos State Ministry of Justice. His career as a corporate lawyer began in September of 1975 as an assistant counsel with the Nigerian Industrial Development Bank Limited, NIDB. He later managed the corporate and legal affairs of the Nigerian Textile Mills Limited, Ikeja, until 1978, when he was appointed the first in-house legal advisor, company secretary of Chase Merchant Bank Nigeria Limited, later Continental Merchant Bank Nigeria Limited. At Continental, he distinguished himself not only as a lawyer, but also as a banking expert, and within 2 years on the job, he was elevated in May of 1981 to the executive status of general manager in charge of the legal and company secretarial division of the bank. This elevation brought Mr. Olufon into the bank's working committees, including the credit committee, which approved and reviewed all lending activities of the bank, the executive expenditure control committee, as well as the management executive committee of the bank. As general manager and head of legal and company secretarial service, Mr. Olufon was privileged to draft many agreements and legal instruments. His responsibilities included the drafting of legal standard formats for all banking agreements and transactions. In particular, he perfected the bank's standard agreements on equipment leasing and sale and leaseback agreements in 1979, which formats have now been widely adopted by other banks in Nigeria. Mr. Olufon had also served in various positions in affiliated companies to the Continental Merchant Bank Nigeria Limited, including legal advisor and company secretary to Nigerian International Securities Limited, a stock brokerage firm, and the Beryl Avenue Properties Company Limited. He was also director of NISOL Nominees Limited. A seasoned negotiator, Mr. Olufon represented Continental Merchant Bank at various negotiations with foreign financial institutions. He also successfully negotiated the repayment of DFL 40 million loan to the ABN Bank of Amsterdam over the indebtedness of Agora Hotel in Abuja. By 1991, Mr. Olufon voluntarily resigned his appointment with the Continental Merchant Bank, Nigeria, and was now a private legal consultant and principal partner of his law firm. He attended various courses and seminars on law and banking, both in Nigeria and abroad. These include Management Skills Program organized by the Chase Manhattan Bank, the Nigerian Institute of Management's Senior Managerial Course, the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs Executive Enlightenment Course, and the Royal Institute of Public Administration London courses for corporate directors and company secretaries. He is also an alumnus of the London School of Economics, Cambridge University, New York Law School, and the Harvard Law School, respectively. He was also a regular participant at the Queen Mary College, University of London's Commercial Law Summer School for several years. Are we still together? His appointments are several. He published several papers, was a member of several organizations, including the London Court of International Arbitration, a member of the International Bar Association, the Nigerian Bar Association, a member of the Consultative Assembly on the Reform of Nigerian Company Law in May 1988. I was a baby. A member of the Contract Review Committee constituted by the Federal Attorney General and Minister of Justice from 1988 to 1991. He was the coordinator of the IMF Deputies organized by Continental Merchant Bank in 1986. Now to his awards. In 1987, he received a Distinguished Alumnus Award from the University of Lagos Alumni Association. He also received a Merit Award of the Faculty of Law at Unilag. In 1965, he was Best Overall Performance in Lower 6 Arts at King's College, Lagos. I think we should put our hands together for that. Some of you might not know, Daddy was also a singer, and he performed on 2 different bands during his time. In secondary school, there was a band called the Hornets that he sang at. At King's College, there was a band, I can't quite remember the name of the band now. Daddy, can you remind us? The Hot Spurs, the KC Hot Spurs. Can we make some noise for the KC Hot Spurs? That was Daddy's band in King's College. And if SB can take us on a time travel, maybe we can get Daddy to sing one of those songs. Because in that time, they would sing a lot of popular Nigerian songs. And they won many awards, the KC Hot Spurs. I wasn't there, I just read it from the book. That's how I know. All right, Mr. Olufon is married with children, and he loves reading, traveling, and different genres of music, as I just said. Various sports. He loves attending social events and mentoring people. Ladies and gentlemen, can we rise to our feet as we honor the great Gbolahan Karounwi Olufon at 80. That round of applause needs to be endless. Come on, don't stop clapping. We honor a life well lived. We honor a man of integrity. A man who loves family, who loves people, and who's dedicated his life in service of others. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you. You may have your seats. Again, one more time, we want to thank and welcome all of you. We have a lot of very distinguished guests here. If we took out time to recognize you all and give you all the honor you deserve, we'll do absolutely nothing else. So again, on behalf of the Olufon family, we just want to thank and welcome you all who have come to celebrate with them today. Now we're going to have a dance and musical performance that will tell this story a little more, and that contains some of his favorite songs, including the one that you saw him singing in the video. So right now I'm going to welcome the Lilian Yeri troupe. Let's put our hands together for them as they do a performance in honor of our celebrant.
On the dawn of 24th July, 1945, a child was born. His cry echoed promise. His name, Gbolahan Karounwi Olufon. This son was destined not only to write his name on the sands of time, but to write it on the bedrock of legacy. From the hallowed halls of Methodist Boys High School in Lisha to the prestigious classrooms of King's College, Lagos, young Karunwi rose with excellence and developed a deep mind befitting a high achiever. Making his way through the University of Lagos, he conquered the study of law, graduating with honors. And then in 1971, he was called to Barr, and he became a barrister of intellect and integrity. Pursuing the law with fervor and grace, he moved from the Ministry of Justice, Lagos, to the Industrial Development Bank, to the Nigerian Textile Mills, to Chase Merchants Bank, where he not only rose in rank, but in reverence. By 1981, he was not only a banker, a pace setter, and a general manager. From Lagos to London, from New York to Rome, he had written contracts and made agreements that became standard, and negotiated international deals with wisdom and intellect. Mr. Gbolahan was a cheerful giver, and his contributions can be felt across the continent. He was the president of the UNILAG Alumni Association and was also a member of both national and international legal bodies. In 1991, his book, Legal and Contemporary Issues in Banking and Finance, became a beacon for all, as his pen spoke the truth and his papers shaped policies. But beyond the boardrooms and the podium, Mr. Gbolahan was a devoted father, a loving husband, and of course, a great mentor to people who had the opportunity of encountering him. Tonight, we celebrate not only the life that you have lived, but the lives that you have touched, the love that you have shown. And we say to you, happy birthday. May your legacy live on. Ladies and gentlemen, let us raise our glasses to a man of virtue, a man of vision, and a man of virtuosity. Hip, 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 hooray! Hip, 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 hooray!
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
ladies and gentlemen. That round of applause can be loud for our celebrant, GKO. That was beautiful. Thank you so much to Lillian Yeri and her team for that wonderful performance. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, back to this story of Daddy's journey at King's College. It was clearly a very remarkable time for him, and he has a lot of memories from the time at King's College. Now, on the day of his entrance exam at King's College, he met someone who has stayed on as a lifelong friend, and that person is here today, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to celebrate 60 plus years of friendship. Can we put our hands together for Mr. Victor Eka, who was there with Daddy on that day in 1965 when they both wrote the KC exam. And I'm going to take the mic to him, and he will, that round of applause can be better now. How many of you have known Daddy for 60 years? So this is Mr. Victor Eka, and he will say a word or two in honor of his dear friend.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, I want to give glory to God. All glory, adoration to the Almighty God who has preserved us these many years. The story of GKO and some of us here today belies the saying that 50 children cannot play together for 50 years. Indeed, we have broken that record. Many of us are here today. I know Olashobane is here, F.K. Adams is here, and there are a few other King's friends. But today I just want to say a very happy birthday to my senior brother. He's 10 days older than me. He's celebrating his birthday today. I will celebrate mine on the 4th of August. So we have been close right from the first day he came to King's College in 65. I had been there since 60. And we clicked together because we were both in the arts class. King's College Higher School had science and arts, and we were both in the arts class. In fact, I almost went to do law because of him. I changed my career. So the GKO came in. We used to call them off school because those who didn't come with us from King's College Form 1, we thought were not usually with it. But when he came in, by the time we had 2 weeks in class, it was clear that this was a unique brand from wherever he was coming. GKO was one of the most handsome boys around at that time. And apparently, you know what happens, or what used to happen, I don't know what happens nowadays, but what used to happen to the handsome boys, all the handsome other people used to follow him. And when he talks, he might say some of us taught him something. But in fact, GKO was senior to us, not only by 10 days, but by many other days. GKO turned out to be very experienced in some ways that was strange to us, and you can see he's done very well in life. God has been with him, God has blessed him, because he is solid. I can testify that he was always a responsible and very reliable person. He was a man for all seasons. GKO was there when it is fun, and when it is serious, he did not play with his academics. And I'm glad he has passed on that to his children. There's very little I can say this evening because I'm overwhelmed. Some of the songs, some of the activities, some of the speeches, even talking about his dear sister, Wemi, I know he didn't let us come near her because there was always a song, Eddie my love, Eddie my love. I'm sure Wemi remembers that. And he used that to keep us off. He said, we had our own. It was a lovely relationship. One of the few things, among the friends we visited at home, was GKO. I got to know his family, and he got to know a lot of mine. He was with me when I met my wife, and we have been there. We are 52 years of marriage now, and all those things, he is part of it, part of the family, and a lot of us are very glad today to be celebrating this anniversary of 80 years with GKO. GKO, my brother, I wish you many, many, many happy returns of this day. May God continue to bless you, bless the family, and give all of us good health and good will to celebrate many more years in the land of the living. Thank you. God bless you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, that round of applause can be loud. Now we're going to do something really quickly. Can every KC old boy rise? Let's quickly do the song, the KC song. Can we make some noise for KC? All right, so Sir Victor Eka, you're going to be part of this song. All the KC old boys to sing the KC old boy song.
Gloria Collegium shall motto be. Let us shout it boldly, for her sons away. Nurtured in a classroom, in our early youth, where we learn to cherish chivalry and truth. Learn to pull together, each one with the rest, playing up and striving, each to do his best. This shall be a watchword, always play the game. Sound the old school's praises, for support our fame. Though of many nations, we will not forget that we all are brothers with a common debt. Let us pay by giving as we forge ahead. So I live. Honor to the third verse, last verse. Present, past, and future, for almighty whole, shining forth and blazing on a monster roll. When the call is sounded, almost answer. Here! Voice of bearing showing, neither shame nor fear, pointing to our honor, which untarnished stands, bright as when we took it from our founder's hands. This shall be a watchword, always played again. Sound the old school's praises, trumpet forth our fame. Though of many nations, we will not forget that we all are brothers with a common debt. Let us pay by giving as we forge ahead. Service so early, honor to our dead.
And the church says, Amen. That sounded beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, can we make some noise for the KC old boys? And I don't know if you heard Daddy's voice as well. He stood, he made sure he stood, and he sang passionately as well.